Well, good morning. It is Alan Vukas, and here it is. It's Wednesday, May 9th. And today we're going to be starting something new. I had mentioned it in a class that I am teaching at New Dawn Center for Spiritual Living, that for the next 10 weeks, and some maybe even beyond that, but for the next 10 weeks, I'm going to be doing a daily deep dive into some of the principles around prosperity, especially as is spoken about by Wallace Wattles in his book, The Science of Getting Rich. This is one of my absolutely favorite books. It's in my top 10 of books that I would not be without. Hey, I do want to apologize just for a moment. Some of the background scenery, I hope it's not too distracting. It is, I'm in the process of moving. So you have some boxes, and that has been some prosperity that unexpectedly showed up in our lives just last, what was it, on the, right at the end of April. We put a contract on a house, and we're getting ready to move. If you are watching me, just give a thumbs up or a like. If you're able to hear this, I just wanted to make sure I'm using a Bluetooth headset, and unfortunately I was unable to test this before. So we'll see how this goes. So let's go and take a look at just some of the things. I just want to get us started here. So today this is going to be our first morning, and my intention is to spend a few minutes every day talking about some of the principles from the Science of Getting Rich. Also, what has sparked this is this class that I'm teaching at New Dawn Center for Spiritual Living, Prosperity Plus. And so this is all coming together. And so I'm going to be using some of that, some of this. But let's go ahead and start moving into this. So The Science of Getting Rich was a book written in 1910 by Wallace Wattles. And during the early 1900s, there was this surge of new thought philosophy that began to appear throughout society. People were hungry for more. People had come to see or realize that their conditions or their circumstances were always chasing after their good outside of themselves doesn't get the results always that they were expecting. So people begin to move within, into inner space, and begin to cultivate a consciousness about their relationship to the universe and who they are and their relationship to the universe, and then begin to live in that way. So this book, The Science of Getting Rich, this is about developing that consciousness of prosperity. And so right at the beginning of the book, right in the preface, there were a couple ideas that I wanted to share here this morning. Probably, there were two ideas, but I'm going to share this one first. It was the very last sentence at the end of the preface. And Wallace Wattles writes this. I could say that. Let me say that real quick. Wallace Wattles writes this. If you wish to know how the conclusions were arrived at, read the writings of the authors mentioned above. And here's the line that I really want to start with this morning. If you wish to reap the fruits of their philosophies in actual practice, read this book and do exactly as it tells you to do. If you wish to reap the fruits of their philosophies in actual practice, read this book and do exactly as it tells you to do. He starts at the very first sentence. He talks about how this book is pragmatic and it is not philosophical. He says this book is pragmatical, not philosophical. It's a practical manual. And so each morning here, I'm in Colorado, so I'm doing this right now about 7 a.m. Mountain Time. But every day, regardless of what time you check in, and whether it's on the same day or not, we're going to spend some time talking about the pragmatical ideas and principles to put into practice. Because I don't know about you, philosophy and just ideas aren't enough to move, just to know about something is not the same as knowing it. And when you demonstrate it, when you take action on it, then you are actually bringing it into the world. And it's not just an idea then at that point. It is actually then, it becomes a reality in your life. And so what is the action that Waddles is talking about? And we'll be going through over this over the next 10 weeks. Well, what he's speaking about, and I'll give you the gist right now. I don't want to hide it from you, but what he's talking about is about becoming a person of increase, about becoming and operating on a larger stage, in a larger field. And in so doing, then you become the place where increase shows up because you are that channel of increase in your life. There's a gruesome story on how they had killed the golden goose because they wanted to collect the eggs. And when they went to go check inside the goose, they didn't find any eggs. And the same thing is true for us, in that our wealth, our abundance, the flow that is in our life, it comes through us by means of our consciousness. Unfortunately, we have been taught to look at our conditions or circumstances, that which stands around us, as a measurement of our success, as a measurement of our wealth, as a measurement of our abundance and prosperity, as a measurement of our flow. We look outside, we use the golden eggs that as the evidence of wealth, when truly, and this is the thing we need to get, truly, our wealth is the ability for us to co-create with life and allow more to emerge, to become a larger person of increase, to generate it from within. And all of the results of that, whether they are more harmonious relationships, feeling good in your body and better health, satisfying and fulfilling work, time and money freedom that really supports you in living the life that you desire, those, while we may, not you and me, but who does it, but when people are grasping and reaching for those things as if they are the golden eggs, as if they are our wealth, if that is our prosperity, that's not the source of our prosperity. The source to our prosperity is our connection to source itself by means of our consciousness, by means of our thoughts, by means of our beliefs, by means of our vision and our dreams, by means of our knowing, our faith. So, but Jesus said something. He said, "To him that hath, more would be given." And this is what all of this is about developing the consciousness to where we know that we know and trust the ability that we have within us to connect to source and create whatever life it is that we desire. That's our wealth. That is a have consciousness. And Jesus said, "To him that hath, more will be given. And to him who hath not, well, more will be taken." I mean, this is the Alan Vukas translation of that verse, but it's pretty close. And when I first read that verse in the Bible, I remember reading it because it sounded like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Well, that's true in a manner of speaking. It's that as we develop a consciousness of prosperity, not in order to get something, but as we become aware of what we truly do have and the ability and the power that we have and the creativity that we have and the dreams that we have, as we know that golden eggs are secondary. The farmer, when he when he harvests and he takes the fruit and harvests the fruit from his fields or from the trees, let's say an orchard, and he all of the apples are removed from the tree. Does the farmer then cry and go, "Oh, I have nothing now. I have no wealth. I have no abundance. I have no flow"? No, he realizes, or she realizes, that the farmer realizes that the source of wealth is really from being connected to the earth and then allowing the life that is in his farm, in his garden, trusting that will produce fruit. It always does. And that's what we need to embrace, is the knowingness that up till now we may have bought into and been convinced that without the outward signs, then we have there's not enough time, not enough energy, not enough love, not enough peace, not enough, not enough, not enough. But going back to what Jesus said, to him that hath more will be given. Well, if what we are having is not enough, then what we can expect more of is not enough. Life begins to flow into it and meet us with the energy that we're putting out there. So the action that Waddles talks about in the book is about becoming a person of increase, about stepping into life a larger way, about leaning into your growing edge, and trusting that you're not alone in this. You're not. Be loyal to your dreams. Be loyal to yourself, and trust that you're not alone. Life didn't bring you this far to just kick you to the curb and say, "Oh, good luck with that." No, the life that is within you, even the desire, the feeling that of not enough, is our soul, ourself, rising and rebelling against the limited thinking that we are trying to convince it of. We're trying to convince our highest self that we do not have enough, and that's not the truth. And so our inner being rebels against this, and we're frustrated, and we get angry, and we might even throw our hands up and say, why even bother with this? So here's what happens. In order to help support developing a vision of yourself in a larger way, and last night in our class, in the Prosperity Plus class, Mary Morrissey suggested or offered the exercise to spend time asking yourself, what would I love? What would I love to be? What would I love to do? What would I love to have? If it was possible, if anything was possible, what could my life look like? If anything was possible, it's just an experiment. And as you begin to do that, it can feel fun, but as you begin to settle into it, and at the moments that you begin to imagine the better and the more, then the old self, which has kept us safe, which has kept us on our routine, that old self begins to say, hey, remember me? I've kept you safe this far. What are you thinking? You can't go and start that business. You can't start the business. You don't have the money. Look, you've been, who do you think you are to be trying to rise above the limits that are clearly in place? You can even reach what's called the terror barrier, the comfort zone. When you fear is the barrier, it is the hedge around our comfort zone. And so as we begin to step into that, the fear keeps us safe. It keeps us up to this point. But this is where we need to use our consciousness. This is where we need to challenge this. This is where we make a decision. We use our will to step through that terror barrier, or get the support we need to move through the terror barrier, or to step through our beyond our comfort zone. There's a definition of insanity which is that it is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result each time. So I want to just ask you, as you watch these videos, as you spend time, with me on this, if you got questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. And as you're taking the class with me, that's great as well. But I want to invite you to actually ask yourself, if what I've been doing up to now, has it been working? I keep doing it, but it doesn't seem to quite get me to where I need to be. There's an invitation to become a person of increase, to take action and do things in a different way. And that is the invitation throughout this entire process here. It's time to do something different. So there was one other idea in the book that I wanted to share with you, and it is a key and fundamental idea that is an explanation as to how all of this works. And in the preface, not sure what, I'm using this copy published by Tarcher Penguin, but it's in the preface, and at the beginning of the paragraph, he says, the monistic theory of the universe, the theory that one is all, that all is one, that one substance manifests itself as the seeming many elements of the material world. And he goes, this is the theory by which he is operating from. I'm ending the sentence there because he goes on, but he's explaining the theory that is behind all of this, and it is a theory that I wholeheartedly embrace, and is what I believe that what science is actually showing us as well, that there is only one. So when we are thinking that there is not enough, we know that within this one life there is enough, but we begin to argue and say, well, wait a second, there's not enough is over there. There's enough over there, but not enough right here. Let me open my checkbook and show you. Not enough in there. If there's enough there, then in principle, then there is all is one and one is all. There is only one life. And so if there is enough there, there's enough here. And it is up to us in order to change our consciousness and align to the truth. And in so doing, we begin to see rightly. And we begin to see the truth. And it is the truth that sets us free. Our circumstances, using external temporary effects, and everything around you, everything you can see and taste and touch and smell is temporary because it is physical. It's in the world of effects. But what we're talking about is living and being in the world of cause and co-creating with first cause, with spirit and source itself. You're not alone in this. Spirit has got your back. And how you can know that is the desire that you have within you, or even the discontent within you. It is spirit itself that is pointing the way, either saying not this way or this is definitely the way. When you have a dream and you are inspired and you're motivated, say, oh wow, there's aliveness in there, and the aliveness is pointing you in a direction. But so today and throughout the rest of this 10 weeks, and in these videos and in the class I'm teaching, we're going to be operating from that premise, that there is one infinite life, one mind, one power, one presence, and it's right here where you are and where I am at. And it is seeking your good and flowing into you your good because you are part of it, and it is serving itself. It is serving you because it is serving itself. It is loving itself, and life loves you and wants you to have all that you desire, because its desire, your desire, is the desire of life itself. I know these are some big concepts, but just sit with these, work with these, play with these. If you've been doing the same thing over and over again and getting a different result, the invitation here is experiment with these ideas, play with these ideas, and try them out for yourself. So here, what I'd like to do, and I'm going to do this every morning, is I'd like to speak what I call a spiritual mind treatment. It's an affirmative prayer. There's another teacher that I have, and he refers to it as a quantum activation. So whatever word works for you, but let's just call it a guided affirmative prayer. But this is a treatment of our consciousness in order for us to release the limited ideas and allow the better and more, the good, the truth of our beings to emerge. So I invite you to wherever you're at. I mean, if you are able to do so, get comfortable in your seat. If you're watching this and you're driving or listening to this while you're driving, you don't need to close your eyes for this. But if you're comfortable wherever you're at to do that, feel free, close your eyes. And let's just join together in consciousness just for a moment, just for right now, as I speak a word for all of us, as we join together in co-creating with life, the good that life seeks to demonstrate or manifest by means of you and me. So as we join together in consciousness here this Wednesday morning, what I recognize is that there truly is only one life, one mind, one power, one infinite intelligence. What I know is that we are actually moving and living and having our being in this field of love intelligence. We are moving and walking and having our being, our existence is in fact it is an expression of that one. And so today we settle into that. I recognize that God is all that there is. And if that's not a word you're comfortable with, if you're not comfortable with the word God, that's okay. Source, the universe, life itself. What I'm knowing is that life itself is right here, in you, around you, as you. It is in me, around me, as me. There's no separation. There is no division. And because there is no division, what I also know here this morning is that my mind is one with that divine mind, because there's no separation. So the intelligence that is within me, the intelligence that is within you, it is the intelligence of life itself. And because that's true, what I can also declare and know is that this word that I'm speaking, it is the word of life itself. It is setting the law in motion for you and for me today, because I am using that power. That power is using me in order to unleash, to release, to activate the truth that is in our hearts and our minds here this Wednesday morning. And so what I declare and know is that there is nothing that can stand in the way of our good. Nothing can stand in the way of our good, because life is seeking to express that. And so you and me there, we can't even stand in the way of our good. And I declare this right here and now, that but right here and now, life is flowing in me, and for each and every one of you, life is flowing into you, the ideas, the energy, everything necessary. It's already here. So it's not even needing to flow into your life. What is in fact happening right here and now, and I accept this for you and for me, right here and now, our minds are open to the truth that everything that we need is right here. Everything that we need in order to experience the abundance, the wealth, the dreams, the golden eggs, that it is alive within us. And it isn't something that we have to make happen. All we have to do is welcome it. And so I accept that any limited idea, any limited belief, any attitude, anything past or present that has interfered with us having the full experience of our abundance as children of God, right here today, it's uprooted, it is nullified, it is canceled. And what remains is the truth. And that truth sets us free. Not only does it set us free, what I am declaring right now is that you and I are free today. And so as we go throughout our day, as we go in and out of conversations, as we go in and out of situations and all that we encounter today, what I know is that it isn't that what is moving us in and out of all of this, it is that greater life. And in that greater life, there is freedom, and that freedom is present. And you and I are guided and directed and protected today into a greater experience of that freedom. And that freedom can be in dollars or opportunities, ideas, creativity, energy, harmony, peace, strength, stamina. All of this is already existent within us. And as we allow that to emerge, hold on for the ride. Hang on. Because I know that Spirit has got this and is working it out by means of you, through you, and also around you. So as we go through this day, I know that our attention, our consciousness is awake to the truth that's within us, and also it is awake to the truth that is around us. And we witness how Source is speaking and waving to us and say, here I am, here is your good. So I'm holding that space for you today and for me today. And until I see you in the next video and tomorrow, what I know is that you are connected to this power, and this power, it's got this. It is bigger than you. And you can't stand in its way any longer. And those old limited ideas, they do not have power over you, because there's only one power, and that power is Source. And that power is your abundance. It is your wealth. It is your life. That's what's here today for you. So I accept all of this. I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for your willingness to be able to say, I want to be a person of increase. So let's embark on this adventure. So I am grateful for you and what life is doing through you today and throughout our time together. So this is the truth. We allow this to be. I know it is done, and I declare it is so by saying, and so it is. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, and if you catch this later, just leave a comment. What I would love to hear is maybe then what action are you willing to take? What action are you willing to take in order to do things differently? Is there an area of life? This is the thing. Leave me a comment. Is there an area of life in which you have been maybe being a little insane, doing the same thing, and it's still not working, it's still not working, it's still not working. I'm trying to Rubik's Cube it. If there's an area of your life where you've been doing that, you know what? What comes up for you to do differently about that today? Let me know the area. I'd love to support you in prayer around that. Either send me a message or just post it in the comments. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm knowing the life's highest and best for you today. Peace and love. Namaste.